Here we go. 10.4 special patterns. All right, this is the same stuff kind of that we've been doing, but what's funny, in my opinion, is usually your book does the best or the easiest one first, and for the chapter, and then they build on it, right? And it just gets more and more difficult. In this chapter, it's kind of the opposite. They kind of like a little difficult, and then all of a sudden this one. And over the years, I've seen lots of students that have felt this way. Okay, so special patterns. It's kind of going along with the last thing you did. Remember with the polynomials and everything, factoring trinomials and stuff like that? And you're basically doing the opposite. They give you the trinomial, and then you're supposed to take out whatever they had in common and then break it into the two parentheses, right? Okay, well, check this out. Factoring the difference. What does difference mean?
Subtraction.
Okay. Of squares. Factoring the difference of squares.
Did you go to the
No, it didn't. Okay, stay focused. I'm not talking about the rodeo. Yes. Okay, stay with us, Taylor. All right, factoring the difference of squares. For example, now make sure your examples are nice and neat. A squared minus B squared. So we have to factor that. If the first one is a perfect square and this one is a perfect square, and you have a subtraction sign here, the answer is A plus B times A minus B. There's your answer. So perfect square here and here plus a subtraction sign. You'll have an addition sign and a subtraction sign. If you were to, and this is your answer, by the way. If you were to check it, do the FOIL, you would end up getting this answer. For example, I'm going to rewrite it down here and I'm going to show you. So A times A is what? A times negative B is negative AB. B times A plus AB. And then B times negative B, negative B squared. These are your like terms. Negative AB plus AB, Cecilia, what happens? It goes away. They cancel out. So then you're left with A squared minus B squared. Oh, that checks. So if you recognize this when you're given your problem, very little brain cells to be used, you just write it out like this. What you've got to remember is that one group will have a plus sign and one will have a minus sign. Okay? Now, if we have forgotten what perfect squares are, that would be like square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 9 is 3. Square root of 16 is 4. Those are your perfect squares. Stuff like that.
So they have to do those numbers.
They don't have to be these particular numbers, but these are examples of your, like a perfect square. Any questions about this one? Okay. Everyone caught it or still writing? Y'all good? All right. So that was factoring the difference of squares. If you have a problem that looks like this, so make sure your notes are neat. If you have a problem that looks like this, perfect square minus perfect square, your answer will be this. Okay. Let's say we're going to be factoring perfect square trinomials. Factoring perfect square trinomials. All right. The first one, let's say it looks like this. A squared plus 2ab plus b squared. So before we had a squared minus b squared. This time we have a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. We have a perfect square here and here. We have a plus sign and a plus sign. So if you have a perfect square, and then twice the a and the b, and a plus sign, and y'all, we're going to do lots of examples. The answer is going to be a plus b squared. Or, because I don't count off for this, a plus b times a plus b. So if your problem looks like this, perfect square, they're double in the middle, plus and plus, here's your answers. A plus b squared, or a plus b times a plus b. If you have a squared minus 2ab plus b squared, perfect square. Oh, look, the difference is there's a minus and a plus. So I want y'all to look at that. Do you see it's the same problem, but we have a plus sign and a minus sign. So if both are plus and both are perfect squares, double in the middle, you see that it's a plus b squared. If you have a minus and a plus, then it's a minus b squared. Or a minus b times a minus b. If you have that memorized, you're good to go. And we'll do some examples to show you. Now, if you want to check this out, all you have to do is, like we did before spring break, foil them. Foil these and you'll get this right here. Foil this and you'll get this. So if you memorize all three of these, there's your answer. Now, I'm telling you, if some of you write a plus b as your answer, when we have actual numbers here, I will count it wrong. Y'all don't get what I'm saying? This is not always going to, there's going to be actual numbers there, guys, not a and b. Okay, just make sure you understand.
Oh.
Okay, so here, if it looks like either one of these, but this has two plus signs, here's your answer. This has a minus and a plus, here's your answer. Any questions? Let's do examples. I'm going to go ahead and start on the other side. Open up your books to page 422. All right. We're going to jump right over to 13. I'm going to start with Michaela. So 13 is a squared minus 225b squared. So you can use your notes. What, pray tell, would be the answer?
The first one, so you do, let's see. So you'd make your two little group thingies, and then it would be,
Yeah, you got to figure out that.
so for the first space, it's going to be A, and then you skip that, yeah, okay. And then, so what times what equals 225?
Yep, it has to be itself.
Oh, itself? Okay, so 225 times 1?
No. Like what? This is a perfect square, so you're looking for the square root of 225. So what times itself? Like 3 times 3 is 9. 10 times 10 is 100. You're going to have to figure it out.
Um, 15 times 15.
That's right. So then what would I write?
You would write -15.
Minus 15. Well, wait, minus 15 what?
B.
B, because remember, we have a B here. So minus 15, whoops, B. That's a B there, by the way.
Times A plus 15.
Plus 15B. Very good. And you can FOIL it to check to see if you're correct. We FOILed all before spring break, so I'm not going to do that now. That's on y'all. Cecilia.
Is it okay if the signs are split?
Okay, good question. Yes. Very good question. If you have A plus 15B times A minus 15B, yes, you can do that as long as one is plus and one is minus. It doesn't matter. If you checked it by doing FOIL, you would see you would come up with the same answer. Good question. Anyone else have a question? All right, Cecilia, you're on deck. 15. It is x squared minus 6x plus 9. Notice you're checking this is a perfect square. And Cecilia, is this a perfect square? It's not?
It is.
It is. And we have a minus and a plus. So what would the answer be?
A minus.
Huh?
A minus.
No, there's no A's here.
X minus 3. 2.
Squared? Yes. Or you can do x minus 3 times x minus 3. Very good. Now, if you checked, and I want you guys to check, but for notes, I'm not doing it because y'all know how to check. You know how to do FOIL. You would need to check this out to see if you got this right. And in fact, all work done at home, like if you don't finish this today, or like if, Emily's absent, you have to show that you checked your work by doing FOIL. Okay? All work needs to be checked by doing FOIL. Do y'all hear me? Otherwise, I will count your problem wrong. Whit?
Where did she get the 6 from?
This?
Yes,
What, she didn't get that 6. That's the problem.
well, yeah, but...
Okay, so let's do FOIL. Let's do FOIL. What is x times x?
X squared.
X times negative 3.
Negative 3x.
Negative 3 times x.
Negative 3x.
You seeing it yet?
I mean, I am, but I don't...
What's negative 3 times negative 3?
Positive 9. But I don't know how she got... Like,
She didn't get it.
no, I know, but
No, she got x minus 3 squared.
yes, because if I would have done the problem, then I would have
Look,
been awfully confused.
perfect square, right? Minus plus. She's her notes. Perfect square, minus plus. Boom.
It just doesn't make too much sense.
Then once you FOIL it, just like this, oh look, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do another. Michael. 17. X squared minus 16x plus 64. And by the way, you better do the FOIL to make sure you do get negative 6x or whatever the middle one is, because they may try to trick you, right? They very well, because we're talking about this book. They could trick you. So Michael, is this a perfect square?
Yes.
Is this a perfect square? We have a minus and a plus.
X minus 8.
Square. Or you could do x minus 8 times x minus 8. If you did the FOIL, you would have gotten x squared minus 8x minus 8x plus 64. These are your like terms. So you would get x squared minus 16x plus 64. And it checks. Does that help, Whit? Are you sure? Are you lying to me on a Monday? You wouldn't never, not be honest with me, would you?
Especially on a Monday.
What, Aiden? What? Does everyone have this? All right. 19. Gabby. We have a squared minus 10ab plus 25b squared. So, Gabby, is this a perfect square? Is this a perfect square? We have a minus and a plus. Now, unfortunately, every example I'm doing is like the same. Be careful. They may have a plus here and a plus there. All right, so Gabby. Very good. A minus 5b squared. You could say a minus 5b times A minus 5B. Any questions? None? All right, Taylor. 21. Oh, we're moving to another section. This time it's 2a squared minus 242. Is this a perfect square?
Yes.
Really?
No.
Ah, this is not a perfect square. Do they have something in common that you can take out? You can take 2 out. So I'm left with what?
2 outside of a squared minus 121.
Very good. Because he took 2 out of 2a squared, and 242 divided by 2 is 121. Now, Taylor, is this a perfect square?
Yes.
Is that a perfect square?
Yes.
Yes, it is. So, Aiden, watch what I do with this outside 2. I'm bringing it down. You will never forget this, I know. I'm bringing it down. And, Taylor, what do I have?
A minus plus minus
Which is it? Minus.
11
Is that it?
parentheses squared.
Nope.
No. Another parentheses. A plus 11
There you go.
squared.
No. Because you have a perfect square, and a negative sign. Oh, look. That looks similar to this right here. Huh? Only a little bit? That's a perfect square, a minus, and a perfect square. Here's your answer.
Wait, so it can go either way, like with the negative and the positive?
Yeah, that's what Cecilia had asked.
Oh.
Yeah. Very good. If you check this with FOIL, you would get this. If you multiply it by 2, you would get this.
Whenever you check it, do you do like the FOIL stuff first? Like you start with A, and
Yep.
then you multiply it times 2?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
You would do the FOIL, and then you would get this right here.
Okay.
And then you multiply it by 2, and you would get that.
Okay.
Very good. Any questions on this? All right, let's do another. Do you have a question? You did do one. Aiden wants to do one. 23. Oh, goody. 9x squared plus 12x plus 4. So, Aiden, question. Is this a perfect square? Is this a perfect square? There you go. We have a plus sign and a plus sign. There's nothing you can take out of all those, so 3x plus 2 squared. Or 3x plus 2 times 3x plus 2. Perfect square, plus plus. Oh, look. Perfect square, plus plus. And if you did FOIL, you would get 6x plus 6x gives us 12x. Yes, sir? Yes. Any questions on this? 25, wit. Save the best for you, man. Oh, looky here. A squared x squared minus 16x squared.
technically, they're all, like, they can all be square rooted. I don't know.
Square rooted?
Square root.
Well, technically, is there anything you can take out?
Oh, the x squared.
Ah, we can take the x squared out. What are you left with in the first term?
A squared minus 16x squared. No. Just the 16.
Now, technically, both are perfect squares and we have a minus. Aiden, we bring down our x squared. And then what do I get here?
A minus 4 times A minus 4.
Are you sure it's minus 4? Look at your notes.
Oh,
If I have square, square, perfect square, and a minus, look right here, the very first thing we did. Perfect square,
oh,
perfect square minus,
plus. Or one of them is going to be plus.
one of them's going to be plus. And again, if you checked it by doing FOIL, you would get the same answer. Any questions? Michaela wanted to do one, so I'm going to let her do one more. 27. 9x squared plus 30xz plus 25z squared. All right, so the first thing you ask is there anything that can be taken out? Z is not in this one, so you can't take it out. That's right. There's nothing that can be taken out of all three of these terms. So, is this a perfect square? Is this a perfect square? Plus, plus. Tell me what you get. That's right.
And then plus 5z times 3x plus 5z.
Yep. Or, since they're both identical, you could do 3x plus 5z squared. Either one. Any questions? You will be doing page 422. Let's see. What? I'll give you easy ones. 14 through, 10 problems. 32 even. Actually, I'm going to be nice. Instead of 10 problems, ooh, I like 30. 9 problems. 9 problems. So 14 to 30 even. Honors. $18 through $30 even. $35. $37. Due Tuesday. Test Thursday. No quiz because you only have 4 sections.
They don't like the other section.